So part 2 of the river boards, and the texture on the bases has now dried. And what I've done today is I've sanded down the edges and then very lightly with a sandpaper block gone over the top of the texture, and that is so you don't get any meringue type little spirals sticking up, and just give a very light sanding down. I'll show you the texture how it's come out. Like that, you see? Rock hard. And I'm now painting on the green, which looks very vivid. There you go. The reason I'm doing that first, my worktop, is I'm painting the green first because it's the biggest area, and I don't get any splashes on the river surface once I've painted that. So it's going to be green, river, painting the banks, then dry brushing, and then varnishing the river. Or, as Brett Simpson contacted me and said, PVA over the top might do the trick, or has done the trick in his case. So I'll certainly bear that in mind. Thank you for that tip, Brett. So motoring on. What time is it now? I've got probably about another 25 minutes to go before a certain person comes back from work. I've got this one to do and just the plain green board down there, which I had spare, and you can never have enough plain boards. Right, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try and put a couple of videos together. Thanks for watching. Right, so the day after the previous video, and progress has been made. I've painted the boards, as you can see, in the basic colours. The green, as I said before, is called Botanical Green from Wicks, the DIY store. The banks are Bitter Chocolate Home Base Masonry Tester. Only £3, you get such a huge tub. I can use that for my basing, I think, as well, for my figures. That's quite handy. I don't know who uses that. Somebody somewhere a long time ago described using this as the paint for basing figures, and it works very well. And now the river sections themselves, the rivers. I've thought about painting in greeny brown, but I want a contrast between the green surface. I think it's all going to look a bit too green. So I've gone down the route of I think I said before, like a retro style. It looks very dark at the moment. You see, it's. I think what I'll do, I'll give that a go and see how I get on with it. I can always paint over it at a later date. And now I'm just going to put the varnish on. The blue I used was bought down to the local art shop, and I use a mix of these acrylic paints, like a blue, raw umber, and a bit of black. And then just typical my style of painting, just added white, bit of green in there, not too much. Start dark in the middle, and the outer parts of the river is a lighter colour. Will it work? I think once I've dry brushed the green, taken that down so it's not so vivid, and dry brushed the banks, that should work. The varnish, I said before, I'm going to use PVA, and a couple of coats of that, and I'll be stippling that on just to give it maybe a mottled surface, and see how we get on with that. I'm enjoying it. Place an absolute tip though, and I do like things nice and neat and tidy, so hopefully I'm able to finish this by this weekend and see how it looks. Right, thanks for watching. Right, so I'm just dry brushing the green, and for that I'm using Naples Yellow. Not bad, these acrylics, quite well pigmented. Doesn't take too long. I'm using a nice soft 2-inch brush. A knockout board. Spare bit of plier MDF will do. And I'll just applying a little bit of downward pressure. So we're just picking up the high points of the texture. Make sure you don't get over the river or the bank. I'll try not to get over the bank. I'll be dry brushing that slightly different colour. Again, this is all pretty therapeutic. And I'll go, once I've done one cover of the dry brushing, I'll go onto another board and return to this one once the paint has dried out. Because if you put too much paint on one go dry brush, it does tend to smear. I don't want that. Just a little bit hard there. Doesn't look too stark. I was a bit concerned when I first used this green colour that it did look a bit in your face bright, but once you put the yellow on, see, it doesn't look too bad. I'll put that one there. I've got to go over the edges of the boards again. Just to smarten them up. I've been a bit busy recently, so if you put up videos and I haven't replied, I've been liking them. I haven't really had that much time. And there's so many YouTube channels out there now, it's absolutely great. But finding time to comment on everybody's can be a bit troublesome. Half, so you can see the difference. Hopefully you see the difference between the dry brushed and the plainer side. Anyway, that's that for now.